Bandai Namco announces a new sci-fi MOBA hybrid, Fable Legends is confirmed free-to-play, Skyforge gives us a closed beta date, and League of Legends drops the beat with DJ Sona. What's happening, guys? James Blonde here with MMOHuts.com with a quick weekly recap for MMO news and announcements of the week ending March 2nd, 2015. And starting out the news this week is a new promo trailer from Tera called The Guild, designed to show players, first off, why it's good to join a guild, and secondly, now that the new skycastle update is live, what being in a guild can get you. The video is set up as a funny little story about a Vapori named Daniel joining a guild and then all of a sudden achieving greatness. Now the video may be a little silly, but the point is there, and the new update is live along with Season 1 of The Crusade. Well, it looks like Aeria Games has been putting Echo of Soul into motion a bit quicker recently. Just this past week they announced the 5 main character classes coming to the game when it launches this spring. And with that launch time, my guess is beta should start up within a week or two. The game has been developed by key members of the team behind Lineage 2, and with the classes available, players will be able to adapt their characters to the playstyle they like best, according to the associate producer on the game. The classes set to be available are the Warrior, the Archer, the Rogue, the Guardian, and the Sorceress. So in case you didn't realize, the classes are gender-locked, hence the reason one of the classes is called the Sorceress. And on top of that, Echo of Soul deliberately has no healer class in order to facilitate group matching between players and to ensure fast-paced combat. They've also recently put out their first class overview trailer showcasing the Rogue class, which as of right now splits down 2 separate paths, the Assassin or the Duelist, which I've got to admit, the Duelist looks pretty fun with the quick strikes and dashes. There's no exact closed beta date as of yet, but we're thinking it's probably going to happen just after PAX East. But speaking of closed beta dates, the announcement many of you guys have been waiting for is finally here. Skyforge closed beta test starts on March 11th. And along with this announcement, Founders Packs have become available at skyforge.com, and with the purchase of any of these Founders Packs, players are guaranteed access to all beta testing periods of the game. So that means that the first closed beta will be running with a limited number of players, and they plan to let more people in as they go along. The first closed beta will be held for 1 week starting on March 11th and will offer players both PvE and PvP content, plus give access to the new classes, the Lightbinder, the Gunner, the Berserker, as well as the Paladin and the Cryomancer, of course. Definitely looking forward to hopping in and checking it out to help confirm its spot on our most anticipated games list for this year. Next up, we have a couple of free-to-play changeover announcements that happened this past week, and the first is the free-to-play announcement of Fable Legends, which is awesome news in my book. According to the development team, since starting development on Fable Legends, they've had 2 clear goals in mind. First and foremost, they're aiming to create an amazing, fun gaming experience for their players, and second, they want to make the game available to as many players as possible, and what better way to do that than to go free to play. But on top of that, be super open and fair about doing it, meaning that you won't have to spend a penny to experience the game, and everything that affects gameplay can be earned by simply playing the game. So this game will be set up a lot like a MOBA with free hero rotation and heroes you can purchase with in-game or real cash currency along with hero customization, of course. If you're not too familiar with the game, check out the MMOHuts game profile, but if we had figured this game would have been free to play, it probably would have made it to our most anticipated games for this year. Just saying. The other game that announced a free-to-play version is Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires. According to an article from MCV UK, Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires will receive a stripped-back free-to-play version alongside its full retail release, which just happened on the 27th, by the way. Now, I know stripped back isn't a word us free-to-play gamers like to hear, but the free-to-play take on the game allows players to use edit and free modes, but seems to not give players access to free mode with online play, so that may or may not float your boat or tickle your pickle, and the free-to-play version will be supported by optional microtransactions for extra edit mode content. I'd say, since it's free, try it out. Why not? Next up, the first North American alpha test for SkySaga ended this past week, but it also did so with a bang. They had an epic PvP tournament going on featuring Capture the Flag, and I was lucky enough to get in. Now, I can't say my gear wasn't quite suitable for taking people face to face, but I did make it a lot harder for them to move a flag. The enemies, that is. Plus, it's fun to try to break exterior walls to try and make a secret path for your allies. Honestly, I've got to admit, the game is a blast. I've got my first look on the way to you guys very soon. I recently had computer problems and ultimately decided what the heck. I built a new rig, so look forward to future videos about that also. No announcement yet for the next alpha test for SkySaga. As for now, the game is only open to VIP members, which are basically players who showed off the game and put a lot of time into playing it. Luckily enough, I made that list. Also last week, I mentioned Nosgoth getting a new human class, the Vanguard. Well, after a day's delay, the Vanguard is now playable in-game. The cool part, just like with the new vampire class, the Summoner, Square Enix let me join them on their private servers to see the new class before launch to show you guys a nice preview. Overall, he's way different than the other humans, in my opinion. You'd think he'd be primarily melee focused, but he's only half that. His axe looks like it's used for cutting, but he actually does a nice job hurling at vampires' faces. Okay, he can be a little hard to pick up on just because, you have to remember to actually use his massive shield to block and buff your allies, which is what he focuses on. If you're just now joining Nosgoth, if you get a chance, try out the Vanguard. He's a really nice answer to the Tyrant, if you ask me. Next up, Wargaming announced a new World of Tanks game that is now going into closed beta, except this time it's a collectible card game called World of Tanks Generals. Split between 3 factions, the USA, Germany, and the USSR, there are more than 200 unique cards available just in the closed beta test alone. It's Hearthstone meets World of Tanks, basically. Players can test the PvP mode and the PvE training battles, master the game's basics, build a number of decks, refine their strategy, and unlock new cards that suit their playstyle. The game is available on PC, Android, and iOS, and it may be a fun new way to play World of Tanks. If you want to give it a shot, like I said, the closed beta is starting now, and we've got some keys going live really soon at the giveaway section at MMOHuts.com. Both Smite and League of Legends put out some awesome new skins this past week. For League of Legends, we have DJ Sona's Ultimate Concert, which looks like a little combination between Deadmau5 and Daft Punk, to be honest, but still really awesome. To go along with this skin, it has all kinds of different music tracks that Riot has put together and turned into trailers as well, featuring music from some really popular artists. I don't know how they got away with doing that, but kudos. Seeing that it's an ultimate skin, Sona changes colors and forms throughout the entire match depending on what's going on, and acts as an actual DJ in that your teammates can tune in and listen to the music that's playing. So overall, it's badass. Enough so that people have made hour-long versions of the trailer. Scylla's skin in Smite is also badass in my opinion, even though it's not quite an ultimate category skin, mainly because I like Scylla and I feel that she's really a hard candidate for quality skins. But the Daisy Despair is particularly frightening, making Scylla look a little taller with a Tim Burton feel. In fact, if you notice her dance on the main page in Smite recently, you might catch the Beetlejuice reference that they were going for. And if you don't like that, you can just beat people with a chair now as Hercules. And speaking of MOBAs, Bandai Namco's newly announced MOBA called SuperNova is making a decent appearance. This one is heavily focused on the RTS elements and clearly has a sci-fi theme. So to me, based on the gameplay from the announcement trailer you see playing here, it sort of reminds me of StarCraft or Grey Goo, which would amount to a totally different feeling in a MOBA, though I don't want to speak too soon. But seeing that it's a MOBA RTS hybrid, players get to use the RTS elements to strengthen the creep army, which adds another level of competitive play to the game. The alpha for the game has already started, and we got an early access sneak peek article over at MMOHuts.com, and it does seem like a MOBA RTS type game that we can actually anticipate this time. But anyway guys, that's about it for all the major MMO news and announcements for this week. Like always, if you're looking for more information regarding the news featured in the recap, check the links in the description below. Otherwise, head over to MMOHuts.com/news for even more MMO news. Feel free to discuss the news in the comments below or head over to MMOHuts.com/forums. And until next time guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.